You're back for more of Raised by Wolves here on BuzzChomp, and these are the WTF moments from episodes 6 and 7. I'm Dan Salem. The show is blowing my mind. We're getting 2 episodes a week, 2 more dropped last, and now more WTF moments. I can't believe what's going on in the show. It's kind of like a whole combination of man versus machine, man versus man, man versus life in general. Let's get into what blew me away. Episode 6. Mother continues to dive into the simulation and her memories, but she's hooked. It's like an addiction for an android, which is probably why they don't want androids hooking up in the first place. She has virtual sex with virtual Campion floating in the air. Okay, so whoever wrote this totally was enacting some sort of a sex fantasy, because to float in zero gravity and have sex would probably be pretty awesome. So Mother does it, but she does it in the sim, and she has sex with her creator, which is kind of like having sex with your mom or your dad, or with God. It's just weird. This is the truest love she knows. This is the man who created her and gave her humanity's blessing. Now, I'm not sure why she loves Campion, original Campion, more than she loves her children, because she was programmed to protect them with life and death. And so if she can learn to love original Campion, you'd think she'd love new Campion more. But she has sex with virtual Campion. How she has sex in the memory is beyond me. I understand when Saul's army was in this sim on the Ark, they were interacting. So I suppose she's interacting. But she's not interacting with someone else in the sim. She's interacting with her own memory. It's sci-fi. It doesn't have to make sense. She had virtual sex with virtual Campion while floating in the air. That misstep led to the next WTF moment when Marcus and Saul's army infiltrate the camp. They attack Mother while she's in the sim having virtual sex, take her out, but then they don't really, because their assault goes horribly wrong, yet ultimately succeeds. It's the perfect arc of futility, humility, all of the illities. They lost so many men, all to try to save Paul and the other 4 or 5 kids. But the kids don't really need saving. They don't need to march in like an army and take them back. Yes, Mother wiped out maybe thousands, 1 million people on the Ark and took it down, destroyed it, and then stole these kids. That being said, these kids are living a better life under the mother and father on this planet than they can with Saul's army, who doesn't have any food to eat, doesn't have any shelter. So what do? They steal the shelter and the food from mother and father. It's war, I suppose, but the true war is these human survivors versus the planet, because there are other creatures on this planet, and they're pretty much ignoring that. Saul's army doesn't even put much credence into the fact that maybe there are other creatures out there, and sure enough, they come. So they lose a lot of people, but then they get Paul, and then they get Paul, the trick father, who then allows them to infiltrate the camp. So then Mother's captured, Father's DIY, because they turned him into a new father, just a standard old android. And it works, but it fails. It's horribly amazing fun. Oh my God, WTF. The ultimate WTF of this episode was when Marcus spares Mother. Now, this isn't necessarily surprising from a story, large picture show standpoint, because those are the 2 antagonists, protagonists, what have you. It's hard to know who's good and who's bad. And they are on opposite sides right now. I said that they would partner up, and so Marcus can't kill Mother. But the fact of the matter is, he should have killed her. This was his enemy. This was the person that stole his new son, not really his son, orphan son, who he adopted but killed his parents. He had her dead to rights, yet God speaks to him and tells him to save her. Now, we don't quite know what is speaking to Marcus. We don't know who spoke to the man that raped Tempest. But some entity is speaking to Marcus right now. You can't kill Mother. Mother's job is to save humanity. So it would go against the teachings of Saul to murder the individual who wants to save your people. But she's an atheist. Yeah, she's an android. Does she really believe in anything? She believes in her creator, Campion. Episode 7. Now we're diving deep into the mental rabbit hole as Marcus, WTF, squares off with Mother in chains. Now this is kind of a cat and mouse game, yet Mother's strapped up, can't escape. Marcus has the upper hand, yet whoever's speaking to him up here and driving him insane is telling him to spare her and listen to her, you need her, and it's ripping him apart. And this culminates in the bigger WTF from the little WTF, where Marcus literally fights himself, but he's fighting himself in his mind. It's his former self. So the original Marcus, before he got the plastic surgery, fights Marcus 2.0, who's the leader of Saul's army. And then he stabs himself because his former self defeated his new self. And so then he cuts himself and he's like bleeding out and he needs stitches and he needs the expertise of Sue to save him. It's just bizarre how much down like he is just mentally unstable. Who is speaking to him? Is this the planet, the creatures, the humanoids on the planet? Because there are multiple creatures that live on this planet. We don't know what they're doing to them. What are they eating? Is it the radiation poisoning? Something is driving Marcus insane. He attacked himself, stabbed himself because he was fighting himself. And he's losing to Mother even though she's tied up in chains. WTF, they baptized Campion. I'm going to put baptize in quotes because it was a very, very bizarre ceremony. There's a lot of parallels to Catholicism and the barbaric version of Christianity that evolved into more of a modernized version we have today. That being said, I don't quite get why they are standing to this. They have been stranded on a planet. The war is over. All humans must save all humans or humans die out completely. And yet, here they are, fighting the two androids who could literally help them because they survived on this planet for quite a number of years. Campion can't do it. Campion runs away. Campion gets locked up. It's just asinine because they know there are other humanoids and other creatures on this planet that want to kill them. The final WTF are the ghosts, or whatever they may be, haunting literally everyone that resides on Kepler 22b. Tali's ghost, haunted father, haunted mother, is haunting Campion. Other ghosts are haunting Saul's army now that they've infiltrated the camp. We don't really know what's leading these ghosts to cause action in the living creatures. What we do know is they are not truly existing on the same plane as our heroes and villains. They may actually exist though. So like all of the ghosts of the humans that died, Campion's brothers and sisters, are speaking to him. So some part of them still exists. And I mean, if you buried them, then they would go back to the planet. And we don't quite understand this planet's inner workings. Something deep down is living in there. There's creatures hopping around. The fact of the matter is, we can't assume Earth-like things upon this planet. We can't assume anything because this is a really, really trippy show that is effing with our minds. And now we have ghosts, but we don't really know what they are. WTF. I'm Dan Salem. I am loving Raised by Wolves, and I'm giving you my WTF moments every week as they release new episodes. We got a few more coming, several episodes to go, a season 2 which has been picked up. Woo woo! Comment below with your own WTF moments as I am watching Raised by Wolves from start to finish. Woo!